Huh. That explains everything. Hey everybody, welcome back. Sorry about last time. I know that it was very sort of inauthentic, if you will, and personal and very scripted. Quite honestly, sometimes that's just the way I am. Today I would like to share with you the books on top of my bookcase behind me, back over there. So now I think it's time to get to some books. Now today I'm going to start with the top shelf. Behind me you'll notice there's suddenly a vacancy. First book we have here is The Book of Lies, Disinformation Guide to Magic and the Occult. I'm a very big fan of this book. Under that is Everything You Know Is Wrong. There's another disinformation book, and this is about government. Fight the Man. The Seekers of Truth covers Hinduism, Buddhism, and Sikhism. Sikhism really interests me as a sort of hybrid between Zoroastrian-based Christianity, Islam, and Judaism, but with a flavor of Buddhist or Hindu practices behind it, aesthetics, if you will. The Ultimate Guide to Army Survival. This is a very thick book, very good for if you are stuck in the woods. And the Bible that all men should live their lives by. The Tao Te Ching. Taoism is preferably my favorite way to handle people, your environment. Okay, you'll notice the books behind me have changed. One of the things that I brought down was this present given to me by a nice young woman named Coco. Now, I brought another stack of books out for you. I'm going to go pretty fast with these. Night Watch, fantastic series. Franz Kafka. I can't get enough Kafka in my day. Teach yourself Hindi. I do want to learn every language in the world. That is probably impossible. The Complete Book of Astrology. Why not? Metaphysical bullshit is very, very fun. Thrive Diet, the vegan nutrition guide to athletic health. Brendan Brazier right there. 15-year Ironman triathlete, regardless if you eat meat or vegetables. He speaks to you in a very street-level conversation. It's very down-to-earth and very logical and scientifically based. I absolutely have no idea what this is. This is probably from my wife's collection, probably from my wife's side of things, which is a Wally Lamb. I have no comment. A very beat-up copy of a very rare print directly from the artist, not from a company. Teresa Thornton, a friend of mine who links below. The Egyptian Paganism, the New Age Wiccany stuff. Constantinos Nectarinum, The Calling of Dark Forces and Powers for the Occult, Magic, and Witchcraft. This is a Treasury of Witchcraft source book of various magic art. Daniel Quinn, one of my favorite authors in the entire world. If you haven't read his stuff, definitely go out and check it. If they give you lined paper, remember to write sideways. This is part of my introduction to sigil magic, which was talked about by Grant Morrison in some of his lectures in Disinformation. Money magic, which is a way to use magic, occult, and sigil power to bring in money. I guess it worked for him. This should be on the top shelf. It's Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. One of my favorites. The well-fed writer. No shelf is complete without Nietzsche. Gaiman. What can I say? Gaiman. Gurman. I picked this up because I was interested in reading new authors. Everything is Illuminated. Had not got around to it yet. EVE Online, even though I really can't play it and don't have the time for it. The universe is incredible. McCarthy. So, this is the road. Hit it, Jack. Currently reading Invisible Monsters by Palanuk, a practicing sigil magic book by U.D. Frater. Oh, this actually came up from a Kickstarter recently. Those actually work. Dead Trees is a compilation. Greg Stoll's collection. He did a bunch of various short stories online as Kickstarters, and when they got funded, he put them into short stories for free online. Then he did another Kickstarter to get this printed so that people could have it in physical form. So this is the work of thousands of dollars of other people's efforts put into my hand for roughly 15. Libernol and Psychonaut, another Wally Lamb, and I know nothing about this book. Something from the Night Side by Simon R. Green. Now I know these are definitely my wife's material, Vampire Diaries. I won't say it's a bad series. It's better than Twilight. Everything's better than Twilight. That's like saying it's better than being shot in the forehead. Blood Canticle. I don't know how these survived or even got on my shelf. These are, I don't know, 10 years old or more. Sudoku from back in the late 2000s, or early 2000s, late 90s. Wacky Mad Libs 5. And Funny Insults and Snappy Put-Downs. The Piercing Bible, like one of those creepy unlicensed doctors. I got interested in picking up random really cheap dummies and idiots guides for Wicca and witchcraft. For String Theory. For learning Latin. World Religions. Facepalm. Organic chemistry. Jesse, we need to cook. This was gotten to me by the lead singer of Death I Am from my last video. I linked them. This is a newspaper in Japanese. I love the hell out of this thing. The Bastard, one of my second novels that's coming out soon, pretty soon. Marvel Cap 3. I love this series and I love this game because they just released a newer version with a newer guide and a newer Water Gardens. The history of the Middle Ages. Album from the New Yorker, 1925 to 1950. Various pictures and comics of our continent, the natural history of North America. Learning's fun. I took a filmmaking class in community college under Kirk Cushion, which was the creator of Babe Force and various graphic novels and comic books. And this is the film appreciation study packet from that class and the filmmaking study packet from that class. Designing and building storage. This is one of my friends in drag. This is a journal that I started to write in about crazy stuff. Oh hey, another film packet. Oh crap, Webster's New Encyclopedia Dictionaries from like the 70s or something. The Everything Learning Brazilian Guide. Grimtooth's Traps 4, Traps Bizarre, and Traps Light. Anne Rice, the Sleeping Beauty trilogy, again probably one of my wife's. Tokens to the first edition of Descent. Alright, look at this. We have GM screens for Call of Cthulhu. GM screen for Vampire the Requiem. Original edition GM screen guide for Hackmaster. I can't show you, just in this video alone, the crazy amount of charts and various other subparts that are inside of this thing. But it's big. GM screen for Vampire the Masquerade. Storyteller screen, Werewolf the Apocalypse. Storyteller screen for one of my favorite games, which was Wraith the Oblivion. Another storyteller screen from one of my other favorite games, which was Mage the Ascension. An even earlier edition of Wraith the Oblivion. God, this is a relic. Hero Quest. Werewolf the Wild West. Some other sort of D&D guide with lots and lots of parts that are broken. Spycraft. Oh man, the old Crafty's 90s edition of D&D. Changeling the Dreaming. I take it this one is another Dungeons & Dragons one. It's a horizontal instead of a vertical one. And that is a D20 Modern, which is kind of like Shadowrun in these pictures. Call of Cthulhu D20 Game Masters Pack. Wraith Player's Kit. Another copy. Werewolf Storyteller screen with werewolf stories. A map of Arkham City. Game Masters Pack. Call of Cthulhu Arkham Advisor. Newspaper. All kinds of articles. Oh, this is beat to hell. This giant map used to be part of Marvel Superhero Game by TSR back in the 80s. A sheet of blank character sheets for Vampire the Requiem. A bunch of characters pre-generated for D&D 2nd edition. This one's special. It's a box full of miniatures up there. There's a box on the shelf back there. It's filled with a bunch of posters and various memorabilia in it. It's also filled with every single issue so far of the magazine for EVE Online, the Eon magazine, which is beautiful and glossy. Now remember, the one thing you want to keep in mind about all of those books is that all of them should have a good story to them. All of them should be meaningful to the heart. None of them should create bombs that explode in your mind. Things that make you just want to pop. Thank you again for sharing a look at my bookcase. It's one of many that I'll be happy to show you and discuss various things about what you saw on the bookcase. So I will see you guys another day. And remember, always stay elegant.
I'm gonna pop some tags, only got $20 in my pocket.
I am only a machine, and I'm malfunctioning, broken, faulty, wild.
Hey there guys, I don't know if you checked out during the video, but I had this Join Us shirt. This is from a comic book called Champions of Hell. I'm putting the link below, that way you can go check it out. We were next to them at one of the Comic Cons when I was doing a table with Order of the Fly, about a guy who goes to hell and kills everybody and the devil, and then goes to heaven and kills all the angels and God. It's crazy. Alright, take care.